This story exploded across Europe, and it all started with a Christmas cake. Yeah, cake. Just imagine that. Of all things, a scandal big enough to shake an entire country, triggered by dessert. One of the world's biggest influencers, Chiara Ferragni, launched what looked like a heartwarming charity product. A beautiful, glossy, carefully branded panettone cake, wrapped in emotional messaging about helping hospitalized children. It felt noble, generous, meaningful. But the truth was something completely different. The scandal grew so massive that it triggered government involvement, millions in fines, and a global debate about honesty in the influencer world. It didn't just damage a brand. It reshaped the way Europe looks at influencer marketing entirely. So buckle in, because today we're breaking down how Italy's most powerful influencer went from luxury fashion queen to the center of the biggest influencer fraud case Europe has ever seen. Before we start, do me a favor, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this video isn't absolute trash, which will be very kind of you. All right, let's begin. Chiara Ferragni isn't just a content creator. She's an empire, a billion-euro fashion powerhouse with over 30 million followers, brand collaborations with global luxury houses, magazine covers across the world, and a social presence that turned her into one of the most influential women in Europe. For more than a decade, she was untouchable. A success story, a symbol of modern entrepreneurship. Italy's golden influencer, the kind of figure brands dream of working with. And when someone with that level of trust promotes a charity product, people don't question it. Why would they? It's Chiara Ferragni, the face of elegance, entrepreneurship, and philanthropy. That trust, that unquestioned, almost automatic trust, is exactly what made the scandal so explosive. Because the higher someone stands, the harder they fall. And this fall was heard across an entire continent. Christmas 2022. Italy is glowing with lights. Families are preparing meals, and holiday marketing is everywhere. Ferragni launches a special charity edition Christmas panettone, a pink, beautifully designed product meant to support a children's hospital treating cancer patients. The box had emotional messages. The marketing spoke about impact. Influencers shared it. Ferragni posted heartfelt videos about helping sick children. Everything looked perfect. Perfect branding. Perfect timing. Perfect emotions. Except, nothing was actually perfect. Investigators would later discover that the donation associated with this product had already been made long before the cake campaign even started. It wasn't tied to sales. It wasn't increasing with purchases. It wasn't what people thought. Customers believed that by buying this cake at more than double the price of normal panettone, they were contributing directly to the hospital. They believed their purchase mattered. But the truth? All they were doing was buying a cake. A very expensive cake with a very misleading message behind it. The emotional graphics, the charity-focused language, the soft music, the branding, everything was carefully crafted to create the impression that each purchase helped children in need. But legally, this wasn't true. And that's when Italy's antitrust authorities stepped in. As sales climbed into the millions, something didn't add up. Where was the donation flow? Where was the transparency? Where was the connection between sales and charity? Investigators opened the books. What they found was brutal. The campaign misled the public. The charity connection was implied, but not real. People were emotionally manipulated into paying extra for what they believed was a charitable purchase. And Chiara Ferragni's personal branding, her reputation, her influence played a direct role in that deception. The verdict came swiftly. Ferragni and her companies were fined over 1 million euros, not for stealing money, not for refusing to donate, but for building a marketing message that purposely made people believe something that wasn't happening. For the influencer world, this was new territory, a precedent-setting case, a moment that sent shockwaves through every brand and creator who ever used the word charity in a campaign. And if you think the story ends there, oh no. That was just the beginning. The moment news of Fine became public, the internet detonated. Within minutes, Ferragni's name was trending worldwide. News headlines were everywhere. Fraud, charity deception, influencer scandal. Her face appeared on every Italian TV network for days. Social media turned into a battlefield. Some defended her. Most didn't. Memes spread faster than facts. Videos dissecting the scandal racked up millions of views. Comment sections were flooded with anger, sarcasm, disappointment. People felt betrayed not because of the cake, but because of emotional manipulation. Charity is a marketing tool. Charity is sacred. And when someone uses it as a strategy to sell overpriced products, people don't just get upset, they get furious. Then, Ferragni released her apology video. A soft, emotional, carefully produced message. But to many people, it didn't feel authentic. It felt scripted, polished, calculated. The internet wasn't convinced. And once that trust is broken, it's almost impossible to put back together. What happened next was unprecedented. The scandal didn't just hurt her image, it crushed the foundation of her brand. Followers dropped by the hundreds of thousands. Sponsors paused collaborations. Brands distanced themselves. Television networks debated her actions night after night. Every part of her life was suddenly under a microscope. Italian talk shows invited lawyers, marketing experts, psychologists, all trying to analyze how an influencer her magnitude could make such a disastrous mistake. And then the government stepped in. Italy began drafting a law, unofficially nicknamed the Ferragni Law, aimed at regulating influencer transparency in charity-related marketing. Think about that. A single influencer scandal triggered legal reform. When an influencer becomes too big, they stop being a person. They become a symbol, a cultural force, someone whose actions shape industries. And Ferragni, for the first time in her career, became a symbol of what can go wrong. Everything she posted was mocked. Every brand move was overanalyzed. Every public appearance became a PR challenge. Her perfect, glossy image, the one she built over more than a decade, suddenly looked fragile. And for many people, it shattered completely. But beyond the drama, the memes and headlines, the Ferragni scandal exposed something deeper. The influencer world had no rules, no guidelines, no accountability. Until now, brands realized influencers can't mix charity and profit without total transparency. Influencers realize emotional storytelling can backfire harder than anything else. The public realized even the biggest, most polished influencers can be deeply flawed. Governments realized it was time to regulate the industry before another scandal erupted. This wasn't just a scandal. It was a turning point. A wake-up call for an entire generation of creators and marketers. Chiara Ferragni didn't lose €1 million. She lost trust, the most valuable currency an influencer has. Her story is a reminder that influence is powerful, but fragile. That fame built on perfection can collapse in a single moment of misjudgment. And that sometimes the biggest scandals come in the smallest packages. Even a cake. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what scandal you want to break down next. Thanks for watching, and remember, nothing online is ever as perfect as it looks.